fortnite. We're gonna be doing fortnite. Yay, fortnite. Fortnite. Do you like fortnite? Okay. Fortnite. I'm gonna be doing fortnite. Okay. Now I'm gonna do like one battle royale match. And I'm probably gonna be done with this video. But I will post, I don't know, every day, probably, maybe. But I'm gonna be doing a, one match with, my duo, which is on my friends list. Then I'm gonna do one, random fill. Okay. Gonna. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna ready. Oh, we added crash pads back and showed breaker EMPs. It's kind of hard to use on mobile, but who's safety for Steve? Oh, and if anybody wants to add me, you could just see my name. Whoa, that's loud. I'm just gonna walk around. Oh wait, what's the skin? Champion Spoke yes. Let's I don't know how to get to FFA on phone. I'm gonna be doing 2 matches. Oh wait, is this on duo? Oh wait, it's not. Wait, it's not on duo. That's bad. So my thing's glitching bad. Okay, there we go. So I don't know if I should leave or not. And I guess I'll just do 1 solo and 2 duos. 3 matches in a video. Look at this. I'm gonna kill you with my knife. Dang it. Okay, where should I draw? I'm gonna draw restored whales. Wait. With my macro roll. Wait, I forgot it. That. Restored whales. I think that's restored whales at least. Yeah, that's restored whales. I think that place have a lunch pad or something. A sham. Oh god, my thing's glitching so bad. This is the most ever glitch. Oh god. Ah, where am I? Ah, pick up a gun. Oh god, that's not a gun. Who should I hide? Okay, wait, I got a gun. I'm not scared anymore. My gun. Oh, cash one. My cool. Oh wow. Hey, I'm not scared anymore. I'm scared of you. hitting the emote. Wow. No way. I hope that this guy dies. Right now. He is so weird. Guess I'm gonna go into 2 duos. Gonna invite some people from my friends list. Oh, this is the only person on my friends list. I'm gonna request to join. Okay, I'm in. So I'm gonna go change up my skin real quick. Oh, nah. Oh, marshmallows in. I'll be back in a minute.
Then I have to fight with Cactus Carnation, who kind of seems like a lot to deal with. But in reality, he's fairly easy to beat. The only thing I have to do is come
I'm back. Let's see how do we do it? I got Guff! I need Guff! Okay, I mean, he's so cute. Don't fluff with Guff, yeah. I really like that.
Then again, seeing that I was doing pretty well this time around, I tried not to let it get to me and continued on to take on the next 5 bosses in equal altitude. Upon arrival, I had 3 bosses to choose from, which were the one called Rumba, followed by Becky the Clown, and lastly the Jimmy the Great. My thought process was whether I should first take on the hardest boss out of the 3, or save the worst for last and deal with the easier one first.
Okay, guess I'm gonna watch a zero build. Guess this is going to be like a 20-minute video. Yes. Well, I make super hard. Here's my. Okay, let's see. So I guess I'm gonna do a match. You can leave. So I'm gonna leave. Put on duo. Then after this match, if you're born, then I be done. Or we can be done right now. I'll just rest. Okay. Now I just got away. I'm just gonna do one more match and I'll be done with the video. Let's check out my quill stats. Can't believe last round not last round, but last season I got diamond. Nothing better than diamond. I just got diamond 1. Now, since I'm on phone, I'm silver 3. Not too high. That's what's sad. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know if I still want. I don't know if I should.
Now you might be wondering, but Dad, if you can use a broken hack like that, wouldn't it be better than using it on a boss instead? And the answer to that is absolutely. But
I'm gonna watch.
maybe it's got something to do with glitch to skip the regular mode, but apparently the hack didn't carry over to any of my boss fights. But that's alright, because I was still glad I could Anyways, after getting those done, I proceeded to defeat Grimmy, went around the carnival to make sure I didn't miss any hidden points, then made my way over to the entrance that led to the next
It's
island.
pretty
At this point in
close.
the game, I had around 3 hours left, mostly due to the several resets I had to do from the many deaths that ensued against the big 3 I usually have the hardest time to beat. But now that I finally got past it, I actually went on to beat every single one of the bosses in the third island without any issues at all, except for when I got to come to the moment. But other than that, the rest was swimmingly well, as you can tell by how much HP I still had left for every one of my battles. In fact, even my match against Dr. Chow that most considered revered as one of the toughest ones to overcome was a cakewalk for me, as I beat with all 4 of my HP in fact. Approaching down the level, they're known to be unironically too easy as the final.
Wait, there's one.
And believe it or not, doing all this only took me around an hour, including other miscellaneous tasks like completing the last 2 runs on that. Buying up more stuff from fortnite to keep it and going the heck out of the last boss meeting to obtain my final super art that I won't be using at all. And just like that, with 2 hours now the final stretch of the challenge. And I'm absolutely ecstatic over the fact that I only have 6 more bosses.
Okay, well, I guess this is gonna be my last video after I'm done doing maybe a 1v1 with Dad. Someone was behind him.
Choking where I failed to dodge the first couple the antlers shot out, followed by an immediate dash to another one. Knockout and used my charge to finish the job. Up next was Gloves with the Giant who I initially thought was going to be slightly easier to deal with than the previous ball. But then I jinxed myself by losing an instant to this no ball by a couple more mistakes made in the second phase. However, once I got used to the timing of the puppets throwing the ball, the only thing I had to worry about was to keep my eye on the gnomes that sprung off the ground, as well as making sure I shut down the ones that ended up in the air. After that, the rest went pretty well, since all I had to do was shift around the platforms to not fall into the acid pool, dodge a few projectiles here and there, and eventually let my crack shot slowly burn through the tumor's HP to get that knockout. The third boss I chose to fight was Mortimer Freeze, and much like my fight with Glumstone, I started
This
out
is
by
going
making
to
dumb
take
mistakes, one after the other, where I
forever.
had to move on to the second phase with 42 HP. And just when I thought I could try and keep myself alive with the hard shield, I not only lose it right away, but then lose another one to the blades rising up.
This is
after
the video.
I didn't know if I had it in me to get through the last phase with just 1 HP, but somehow I managed to survive long enough to fully charge my super meter to gain a hard shield, and the laser eyeball, and eventually won the battle. Then came the fight against the Howling Aces, and quite frankly, I had no problem getting through the first and second phase. And that's because most of the attack patterns were pretty straightforward, and the part with the flying puppets was probably the easiest section of the entire game. However, seeing that I still had 4 health going into the last phase, I unfortunately let my guard down, which then had to begin to throw the match. But even though I was at 1 HP, I had my super meter filled up already. And by gaining another heart, I didn't have to worry about dying in 1 hit, which then allowed me to start playing more confidently to my victory. After that, it was time to take into disguise against Esther Winchester, who in my opinion was the scariest boss out of the ones I've faced so far. The crazy amount of projectiles she had up her sleeve for every one of her phases. But thankfully,
It's updating my collection.
there's a way to choose the third one by staying in this one spot where you're basically free from harm's way. Until an occasional character is used towards you, in which case I basically divided. From that, I used my super bomb to dish out a ton of damage in the final phase, then beautifully restored the sausage links to secure the dough. With the last ingredient gathered, I could finally see the finish line where all that's left was to beat Chef Saltbaker to complete this challenge. The start of the fight wasn't the best, as I got consecutively hit 3 times in a row in the first phase, which meant I had to go into the second phase with only 1 HP and a shield. But despite the incredibly unfavorable situation, by renewing my shield every time I got hit, I survived through the entire ordeal, finishing off the chef at the very end. However, just when I thought it was all over and done with, I still had 7% left to go from 300% in the game. And that's when I realized that I had completely forgotten to turn the broken relic I bought at the shop to the cursed relic, which meant I had to solve the symmetry puzzle to beat the secret boss, and then go through all 6 of the bosses again on regular mode. But the real issue lies with the cursed relic, since equipping it reduces my HP to 1 and it randomizes my entire loadout every time I dash or release the shoot button. On top of that, since it was a charm, I had to unequip the astral cookie, which meant I couldn't use this challenge's double jumps and dodge rolls anymore. The only way for me to increase my chances of successfully making it through this predicament was to use the heartbeat effect from the cursed relic, which is basically one of the charms that is built into the relic that helps you gain 1 HP for every first, third, and 7th parries you pull off. But even then, since I was gonna start every fight with 1 HP, I was still faced with the risk of dying in 1 hit. And because of this, I began to think whether I even had it in me to continue on, knowing that a single hit could spell the end of this very last attempt.
Can you see the difference you're making in the world? Clean Choice Energy makes it easy for you to see your impact by switching to clean electricity with our Clean Energy Impact statements. Each year, our customers have an equivalent impact of growing more than 18 million. Come see the difference.
But to have come this far only to let this major setback result in my downfall made me think about how glorious it was going to be when I do succeed. And even if I fail, it would only mean that I was never good enough to attempt this challenge in the first place, so I couldn't afford to let it end knowing that my reputation as a gamer was on the line. It was down to the last 20 minutes where I had to heighten all my senses to their utmost limit to get through every one of the bosses once more. Despite being a single hit away from death multiple times, I did my absolute best not to die in the beginning phases of all my fights, surviving long enough to gain an extra heart anytime the opportunity presented itself. But that wasn't enough to dispel the unfathomable amount of pressure I felt at the time, which led to several mistakes made along
Wow,
the way.
my thing's
I still
glitching.
managed to push through with a bit of luck, eventually beating the first 5 bosses to get to the chef. The start of the fight went in my favor as I parried the pink sugar cube to gain an extra life. I then proceeded to elude my way through the vast bombardment of attacks the chef threw at me, encountering a few close calls in the process. Once I got through the first phase, it was now time to take on the pepper shaker. And as soon as the phase began, I managed to gain another heart, which made me think that I was now guaranteed to win. But how naive was I to let that get to me as I immediately lost a life to a peppercorn, followed by another to the falling leaf. Seeing that my super meter was full, I wrestled with the thought of whether I should use my super art at the time to momentarily alleviate my situation. But then decided to hold on to it as I saw the second phase was coming to an end. The third phase was where I could catch a short break, since I just had to make sure not to mess up my timing as the dancing salt figures bounce around the screen. And by keeping it up, the salt figures eventually fell, setting the stage for me to enter the final phase. The pressure was on as I was now inches away from completing the challenge. And with the burning determination to close out the match, I elevated my gameplay by perfectly timing my jump on the descending platforms as well as parrying the chef's hearts like my life depended on it. But despite playing my absolute best, I ended up winning on this next jump. Could this be it? Was this the end of the line? Just when I was about to accept my impending doom, I looked over at the bottom corner of my screen, realizing that I had yet to use the super art I saved a while ago. And by activating it just in the nick of time, I escaped the clutches of death and finished up the rest of the battle with a triumphant
Wow, my
knockout.
thing's glitching so bad.
And just like that, this the game under my belt. But this time without a single death along the way. And just to appease the minds of the doubters out there, I made sure to go back to the second island where you can speak to this guy in the lake and check how many times you've died. And as you can see, it's a big fat zero. As always, hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed playing. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the awesome content I have planned for the future. As for me, I'm just gonna have a staring contest with the guy in the lake, and I will see you all in the next one. Hey, I'm gonna finally complete the Cuphead saga by 100%ing the delicious last course. This entails that I'll have
Why
to
does
take
this
all
take
different
so
achievements as well as
long?
defeat every single boss on Extra Mode. I'm also gonna extract all the bosses at the end and obtain the golden chalice filter to truly 100% the DLC. And to spice things up even more, I'll be adding a little twist to the whole mix by spinning a wheel to decide which gun I use every time I face up against a new boss. Will I give up halfway because of a terrible gun to boss matchup, or will I overcome it all and go down in history as one of the greatest Cuphead players of all time? Stick around to the end to find out. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, let's get the show on the road, shall we? So the first thing we need to do is talk to this clock-faced boatman to get to the new island. Blah, 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 yes, take me to the place where a ride to the island with this creepy looking sun staring directly at us. Once we got to the island, we were met by Miss Chalice, who then offered a
Oh,
delicious looking
another
cookie.
guy
Even
added
though it
me.
was just a lovely
Just
gesture,
gonna
Mom
sip
advised
through
us
them
to get
all.
a Coke that turns into a ghost where Chalice is now alive again. We then follow her to this bakery where she explains that she's been trying to escape the astral plane for ages. And to do so, she
Don't know if
has
it
to
could be hack goals because one of my
but to everyone's surprise,
Fortnite
the
accounts
the
got
cookie wasn't
hacked.
permanent. And in order to bring back Chalice for good, the chef told us to gather the necessary ingredients to create a magical lumber farm. And with it, she will have full control over the astral plane. Despite Chalice's attempt to have Mugman trapping the board forever, I guess we still happily agree to bring the ingredients back for her.
But I added them all.
How do you know she won't do it again?
One of them is probably on. Yeah, no.
Devious trick. In any case, I think it's time for Ninja to it. Alright, let's check out what Miss Chalice is. And no, I don't mean by checking her out. Like, it just means like, to see what she can really do. Never mind. First off, we have to now dash to carry or pick objects rather than jumping on them like before. Second, we can now dodge roll with an added bonus of invincibility. And lastly, instead of jumping once, we can now jump twice, which is going to come in super handy later on. After I finished the tutorial, I went over to the bridge and talked to this newspaper boy who straight up told me I was a weakling. Like, he even offered me a cabbage and said I was going to need it. In all my years, I have never been so insulted by a stranger, no less, who I literally just met, that had the audacity to talk down at me. I like this kid. Anyways, after talking to the supervisor, I made my way to and now it's time to fight the first boss.
Oh wait, I guess I'm gonna end the video after that dies.
So I did by taking on these spawns as my first opponent. I wasn't allowed to use any of my weapon or charm against these guys, so I parried their little heads one by
Or
one
if
and
you
used my
win.
dodge roll to easily defeat. The champion was a very on the creature. I spent the first 3 rounds trying to figure out how to parry Snake May without taking damage, which led to a fair bit of damage.
This will kill. Killed him.